What's good, everybody? This is Ace of All Trades. We are back with a special edition of Triple Threat Sports Podcast. I got my co-host with me, Siggy. Say what's up.
What up, what up?
And we got our, I'm not even calling him a guest anymore. He's part of the show. I don't care what anybody says. He's part of the show, including him. Say what up to my other co-host. Say what's up, JG.
Hey, what's going on, people?
Hey, man, JG's a happy man. Just came back from vacation. Can't y'all hear it in his voice? He just sounds so happy.
I'm happy.
So we just gonna talk about one thing and one thing only that matters right now. We talking about the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight. Was it to everybody's expectations? Was the hype real? Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? JG, from what you saw, what did you think? We'll go with you first.
The funny thing was, like, when I finally got back to my room and was checking out ESPN, I was so mad because they didn't show the fight on the ship, but it's all good. When I came back, I was getting the updates and they were saying that Mayweather was leading in the 8th round. I was like, okay, I wasn't surprised at that at all. And then I looked around and it said that Mayweather got a TKO. Oh, McGregor. I was like, whoa, okay. All right, so I guess he finally did what he said he was going to do. Again, at the beginning, I was like, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. I just saw Mayweather pretty much leading the majority of the fight. He may lose a round or two. That's fine. But I just felt like he was going to lead throughout the entire fight and end up just winning by decision. But when he got the TKO, that was honestly what surprised me. He actually did what he said towards the middle of the fight, ended up being aggressive, and he ended up getting the TKO, even though a lot of people said that it got stopped a little bit too prematurely. But yep. TKO is a TKO, and the win is the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Siggy, your thoughts?
It was a fight that I expected 100% from Floyd. As far as McGregor goes, you know, I know a lot of people are giving him praise now for lasting 10 rounds, but you got to remember, I think Floyd did this on purpose to lasting as long. Also, we found out later on that he actually tried to put a bet on himself that he was going to win in the 10th round.
Yeah, he gave it. He said he told them. He said he gave it to a friend because he won't name the casino, because we actually here in Vegas were trying to figure out which casino it was. It wasn't one of the major casinos on the Strip. It was one of the station casinos. So it was most likely like Sunset Station, Fiesta, Boulder Station. If you guys are familiar with the Vegas and Henderson area, is probably one of those stations where he gave a friend amount, because he actually tried to put, I think it was, he wanted to put 400K down, but the thing was he couldn't put 400,000 down, and they told him he could only do up to 84,000. So, and the odds were already, you had to put a lot just to get a little back anyway. But if he would have put that 400K down, like, Jesus Christ, like, I don't know. From being from Las Vegas, I've always felt like, what kind of shit is that? Like, you're able to put down that much money on yourself. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that's great, but what happens when somebody orchestrates something to get fixed, and a friend drops off $1 million and says the underdog is gonna win? And then,
well, because I mean, if you look at what happened in the fight, he could have easily won that 9th or even 8th round.
He could have,
easily. So you almost look like, since he did place these bets, he was stretching it on purpose.
Yeah.
But going back to what I was saying about the fight, I knew that this was going to be his game plan. Everybody knows that McGregor specifically never lasted over 25 minutes in the ring, whether it's octagon or square. So we knew that it was going to. That's why even Vegas had those odds where if you look at the early rounds, it looked like it wasn't good. Like it was 40-1, 30-1.
It was close. They had McGregor winning, I believe, 1, 2, 3. And then I think Floyd won 3rd round, and then McGregor won the 4th round, and then that's when, after the 5th round and so on, that's when Floyd started taking over. But he said he was gonna do that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's his plan. He likes doing his homework. I know that there was a lot of people on Twitter. It seemed like, especially the first 2 rounds, they were kind of nervous. They were kind of seeing, you know, Floyd like not really being aggressive, or he was actually taking hits. But see, Floyd,
he was doing that. He was doing that.
He likes to take the absorption. He likes to know exactly what he's dealing with, what kind of power, if he has knockout power, etc. And he felt all in the first 2-3 rounds.
McGregor caught him with a clean uppercut. Conor McGregor got a clean uppercut on Mayweather.
And on top of that, Floyd saw that Conor was struggling to box, not forget the fighting style. And all he was struggling to box because he was trying to do hammer fists.
I was gonna say
weird. That's why pivot and try to do some weird hugs. That's why the Titanic picture came out. That meme.
That's why Floyd kept turning around on him, because he knew if he turned his back to him, is gonna hurt, and McGregor's gonna get into habit to wanting to pick him up. He was doing that on purpose. And hold on real quick. I didn't even start the podcast the way I wanted to start the podcast. All y'all in the chat, people listening, all you Conor McGregor fans, y'all need to shut the F up forever. Talking about, oh, McGregor's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather just wait. And then after the fight, gonna be like, well, he lasted 10 rounds with the GOAT. If y'all don't shut the F up, like y'all need to stop that, because all y'all McGregor fans in Vegas and everything along those lines wanted that man to knock out Floyd Mayweather because you hated the fact that how arrogant Floyd Mayweather was. But the thing is about Floyd Mayweather is that he's always been able to do, he's known how to talk his shit and he knows how to back it up. That man is 49-0 for a reason, and that needed to be respected. Now he's 50. Now, and that's also debate too.
Here's the big thing that Conor McGregor fans need to realize too, is that this was a 41-year-old, 2 years removed from boxing.
Yeah, 42 years removed.
40 years old, 2 years removed from boxing against somebody in his prime in fighting that supposedly had all this power and still got beat, by Floyd. So McGregor fans, you just gotta accept that he was outclassed in the boxing ring.
Now I will say that McGregor, now don't get me wrong, nobody said that McGregor wasn't gonna do well. People said that he was gonna get knocked out, and people say he wasn't gonna last. He definitely didn't last. I will give McGregor the fact that he took advantage of his reach. He spaced out Floyd for the first 4 rounds, but also Floyd wanted to feel the type of punching power that McGregor had. And if McGregor knew how to actually react to how Floyd was changing up his position and stance and everything along those lines, then maybe he would have had a greater shot. But McGregor did well. I will give him that. The first 4 rounds, he did well, but he burned himself out and he fell into Floyd's trap, and that's what Floyd wanted him to do. He said, all right.
He wasn't ready for 36.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't ready at all. He said, I'm going to test your power out. Let's see what's good. Let's see if you can actually hit the way people say you can hit, and then we can go from there. And we saw Floyd Mayweather box a way that we thought we would never see Floyd Mayweather box. Now, don't get me wrong. He's 40 years old. He's 2 years removed from retirement, and he didn't box the way we used to see Floyd Mayweather box. He was very offensive. He was going head forward, taking and absorbing hits and being very sloppy with his punches. Now, typically, we've always seen him be very defensive, very countering, and everything along those lines. So to see him like switch it up shocked all of us, and not just Conor McGregor, but everybody. But the only 2 people that knew they were going to do that, well, not just 2 people, but the main 2 people were Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Sr. said this on First Take, on Undisputed, came on ESPN and all those shows and said, this is exactly what we're going to do. You guys are going to see Floyd box the way he's never boxed before. He's going to go straight forward, and he's going to go ahead and absorb some punches, and then he's going to give some punches out. And nobody believed him. And why would we? I mean, the man doesn't box that way, and we saw Floyd box something completely different. And I gotta say, this fight overall was definitely way more exciting than the Pacquiao fight. I will say that for a fact. Like, that was definitely, and some people say this is one of Floyd's best fights. Floyd did this on purpose. He wanted to entertain everybody. I truly believe this man Floyd Mayweather could have put down Conor McGregor much sooner than the 9th round. I believe that. But what do you guys think?
I mean, whose fault is it that the Pacquiao fight wasn't entertaining though? Do you blame?
No, I don't. It's Floyd Mayweather's fault, but that's because that's how he boxes, fam.
Well, that's how he knew he was gonna win.
He was gonna win that way. He was gonna, and it's funny too, because Manny Pacquiao tweeted this out, and he deleted the tweet where he was making fun of. He said, Floyd Mayweather said something on Twitter and about being offensive for something like that, and then Pacquiao responded with a winky face saying, I guess the only way that you can win is by running away. God bless you on your fight.
Hey, Pacquiao better shut up though. He got to deal with Jeff Horn again. Like that. This is what Pacquiao's problems are right now.
Exactly.
He shouldn't be worried about Floyd.
Exactly.
All right, so let's go to Conor real quick. I mean, he knew. I mean, everybody in the world knew that it was going to last, go the distance anyway. At least they're going to try to make it go the distance. So he needed to work on conditioning. Was he sloppy for being that tired already after 6 rounds?
No, he just wasn't used to it.
He's not used to it.
When was the last time that you seen Conor have a 5-round fight? That was against Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
And Nate don't go down. If you watch UFC, you know that Nate don't go down.
He got a chin on him.
Took all them punches. He was bloody. He was like, "Give me more, bro. Like, we can keep going if you want to. We can keep scrapping. You not gonna knock me down, bro." And that's exactly what happened. But he wasn't ready for 36 minutes, and that's exactly what I said.
Right. Yep. And speaking of that, JG, you bring up a good point about how he didn't go down. Now, we kind of brought this up earlier about how we felt like they stopped the fight sooner than they should have. Now, the fact is,
he didn't throw a punch in minutes.
He hasn't threw a punch in minutes, which is very true. But you also got to remember, he is a UFC MMA fighter. His mentality is, when they're like that, let him get knocked down to get back up. That's how he probably felt. He felt like
I could feel that because he's used to it. He's used to that.
He's used to that. But the thing was, and I saw Skip Bayless say something today that pissed me the hell off. He was
anything Skip Bayless.
Right? What does Skip not say something? Right.
No, like this really pissed me off. He was saying that the judges were pro Floyd. They said the ref was protecting Floyd. But I was like, are you kidding me? They're hammer fist. This man was hammer.
I mean, no, you gotta admit though, because the very first few seconds of the fight, he was basically lecturing Conor McGregor the whole, you know.
Wait. But do you blame him?
He was an MMA guy. No, not true, because obviously, it was a reminder. Hey, look, these are the rules. I gotta follow them. So then he did a really good job of not deducting points for the hammer fist.
He could have
easily done that.
He hammer fist the first 4 rounds, fam.
Yeah, he did.
The first 4 rounds.
I mean, that's the mentality. You got to remember, this is a guy coming from USC, and he's just not used to. You know, he's fighting. This is his defensive mechanism.
He wanted to slam. I
commend him for not kicking or slamming though.
Bro, no. He wanted to though, so bad. You can tell. You can tell. I really thought that he was about to put Mayweather in an armbar, fam. I really thought so. At one point, I thought so. I was like, oh man, don't do it, McGregor. And you know, and I think because Skip Bayless,
you could tell because the way he
his
was
instinct.
Hugging, you know. All the boxers, when they go do the hug, they go to the front. He's always
on the side, on the behind. Yeah,
it's like he wants to do a takedown. I was like,
why you hugging me? Right.
And the funny thing is though too, because when you get tired and you get fatigued, you go back to your instincts. You go back to what you know. He was really trying the entire time until he got really fatigued, and when he got really fatigued, his MMA side showed a lot, which is a lot of people didn't really talk about that. What's gonna happen when McGregor actually steam runs out, and then he has to revert back to his MMA style, but he can't. Even in the post interview, he said Mayweather was changing up his stance and everything. When Mayweather was up on him, absorbing the punches and everything like that, McGregor didn't know how to use his feet to get around him to attack him, so he felt confused, and Floyd Mayweather knew that. So who cares that McGregor is a 28-year-old, very energetic MMA fighter? When it comes to the realm of boxing, if you don't have the proper footwork and everything along those lines, you're gonna get outboxed. And Floyd used his knowledge, his experience, his 21 years of winning to be able to beat McGregor. Now, was it exciting? Yes. Will I commend McGregor for doing what he did? Yes. And I had to put this in. Steve Harvey is the GOAT. If y'all watched the fight, that man Steve Harvey was lit on the outside the ring. He was amazing. It was funny. And then they did an interview with Steve Harvey afterwards, and he was like, you tell Conor McGregor he's a fucking man. Like that. I will say that though. Conor McGregor,
he did all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think he has shown enough, Conor McGregor in this one fight that he could continue boxing and now have leverage against UFC?
No.
Let me bring up the stats. Let me go back to your original question too that you asked, Ace. Do I feel like that the fight would stop prematurely? After looking at the highlights, no, I don't think it was, because
he was defenseless.
Even though McGregor did, he said that he wanted to go down. He said put him down. That's the boxing rules. Like, if the ref feels like you're going to get knocked out, you want to prevent that because something more seriously could happen. McGregor hasn't been knocked out. All of his losses were due to tap outs. That's crazy. Every single one has been a submission. So, coming to the boxing ring, I don't think you want to get knocked out, fam. I understand, it's your pride at work or whatever, but you don't want to get knocked out. Your legs are wobbly. You weren't defending yourself. That's why the ref stopped it. End of story. You lost. It was a TKO. So I don't feel like you'll stop prematurely. Going to your second question about if McGregor can actually last in another boxing match.
No.
Did he do enough? The funny stat is he actually landed more punches than Pacquiao did. Actually, for like the last 3 fighters that Mayweather fought. Now Mayweather still landed over 50% of his total punches, and these weren't just jabs. That's the funny thing. These weren't just jabs. These were actual power punches.
Exactly.
Pretty funny on Mayweather's part. He landed 53%. McGregor still landed a good like 20 to 30% of his punches, and that's still more than Pacquiao did, because Pacquiao was throwing a lot of flurries, but not a lot of them were landing.
But
now,
Floyd was
not
also
hit Mayweather. Yeah, you're not gonna hit Mayweather that much. Nobody's gonna hit Mayweather that much, but he still landed more than some professional fighters, professional actual boxers. So Conor, if he actually wanted to do this, like for real, if he liked that money just a little bit too much, he may be able to rise up in the ranks as an amateur, and it'll becoming a professional. But I wouldn't like give him anybody like a Triple G or a Canelo right now.
They'll destroy him.
Because I do agree with what Max Kellerman was saying. He was like, yo, this is Floyd. He's like, Floyd is 40, bro. Like, this is the exact reason why you're lasting 10 rounds with Floyd. But you go in there against a young boy, I wouldn't even think Adrian Broner would give him a show right now. That's what I honestly think. I think even Adrian Broner would get that man a show. He'll probably knock his ass out. But they said that anybody else would knock him on the first round, like right now. But I think if McGregor actually wanted to do it, he probably could rise in the ranks. I'm not even gonna put that past him.
I could see it. I honestly think he did it though. The good thing about the fight lasting this long for his benefit, even though it was manufactured by Floyd, I think he got exposure. He got people thinking that he could box. So that's in essence at least a negotiating tool against Dana White in UFC. I think it's going to be, I think his fights going forward are going to be, now that he's more recognizable, because now he's probably more international fame now, especially with, Mayweather fighting period. So now he was already popular in the East, or across the pond and on the West or whatever, in UK and all that stuff. Now he's probably popular in Japan and all this stuff. So now he can actually be global, and that's going to have to be something that he can bring to Dana White and say, hey, look, these fights that I'm going to be fighting for you now, they're going to be going up in money, because now I'm popular. If not, I can just go box against some guy in Japan for all I care and get more money than what you're paying me.
Now look,
so
nah, fam.
Yeah, he got
no. Okay, look. I'll say this. I'll agree with you in the sense that his value definitely went up, because now he's known more worldwide, because he was on that stage for boxing. He's more out there. But when I won't say that he can last in boxing. I think that he should stay in the UFC. But he
doesn't need to last in boxing though. He just needs to pick up fights like this all the time.
I still don't think he needs to be conditioned and everything like that. Look, and JG's first point to JG made was that the fact that Conor McGregor was able to hit Floyd Mayweather more times than the last 3 people that Floyd fought, which is very true. I will give him that.
Even Maidano cheating there. That boy with dirty boxing, he still let it more than him.
But the thing is though too, Floyd didn't box him the way he would go against other boxers. He allowed himself to be hit a lot of those times to be able to test out McGregor's power, to see what McGregor was about, and also he knew for a fact that would throw off. Once he found out that McGregor did not hold enough power to be able to rock him, hurt him, or anything along those lines, Floyd Mayweather allowed that man to hit him way more.
It might not have necessarily be that he lacked power. I mean, obviously it looked like that, but you gotta remember, he also didn't have a boxing stance when he was throwing his punches.
Exactly.
He was going UFC. He wasn't setting up his feet. He wasn't using his hips the way
and
other
Floyd knew that,
etc.
Which is why I'm saying that I think McGregor landing all those punches and everything like that is, I think it's a good thing, but also at the same time, Mayweather allowed most of them. If he would have boxed them the way he was boxing everybody else, I guarantee you he doesn't get as many hits. Guarantee it. I just don't.
I mean, if he can polish his game, Conor McGregor, I think he can have a.
He has one hell of a reach. I'll give him that. He has one hell of a reach.
He can have, like I said though, forget the boxing. I think he's just gonna use his leverage. I mean, he's gonna stick to UFC. He knows that's his home, and he knows that that's where he's best at, no matter what. I just think that boxing can provide him more money, just because you could market it as something like this. Have him be a crossover star. It doesn't matter if he's not a boxer. It's just the fact that, hey, this is a UFC guy that's popular. Let's do this. It's different. This is almost like wrestling. Whenever you have a UFC or a celebrity come into wrestling, they market it as like this big old hype. Like Ronda Rousey, when she went there, Rousey's going to be in wrestling, whatever. Or when Brock Lesnar came to UFC, that's the big thing. This is the same exact thing. go to boxing. We already did the Mayweather thing, but now it could be somebody else. Who knows? Maybe somebody could come out the woodworks and say, hey, you know what? Let's do it just so we can get this payday. Doesn't maybe not have to necessarily be Mayweather to get this money, because now you're a face also, so he can command it now. Not necessarily not Mayweather type money, but he can get 50 million instead of 100 million. You know what I mean? So I could see that out of him saying, hey, look, I'm a star. I could create this. Let's hook up, Canelo. Let's make this happen. People would pay for this.
Right. Now, here's what's going to happen. I think that, well, just me personally being a UFC fan, I want McGregor to come back and defend your damn belt, because you still haven't really defended it yet. Defend your belts, bro, because you got to, and then you got to take it. Like, defend whatever weight class you want. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck. Just defend your damn belt. If you want to stay in the UFC, because I was already pissed off at that, that you even that Mayweather even entertained this shit. So now that that's over, because I didn't even want to see this fight in the first place. Now that that's over, go back, defend your belt at least one time. If you feel like after that whatever weight class that you want to stay in, if you feel like there's no competition, if there's nobody on your level in the UFC anymore, if there are no young bucks that you want to even try to entertain with that, then I would say he's probably going to go with this plan B, because he felt inspired for even this Mayweather thing even happening and coming to terms with that. He said that he's also going to start his own promotion company. Yep. I was watching like a random special on the plane like a couple months ago, and he said that he wants to do that. So that's probably what he's going to do next. He's going to come up with his own promotion, and he might just go full-fledged boxing if he feels like there's nothing else in the UFC for him. So that's what I see happening. I see him actually doing more boxing matches, but again, I want him to at least do a little bit more in the UFC, because I still don't feel like you are that champ yet.
Who should be his next fight in UFC?
I feel like at first I really wanted it to be Jose McGregor too, but after Jose got knocked out, I don't know, man. I really don't know what I want to do.
It has to be DS3, right? But he's not going to go up to that weight.
I don't want to see DS3. I don't want to see DS3. It's got to be, because I would say Alvarez, but it's probably going to be what the hell was his name? Whoever just won from Jose. Who ended up finding the belt? I forgot his name, but whoever's the champ now, I'm about to look it up. But yeah, I feel like he should face him and do what you want to do, or possibly let Dos Anjos come back. You should probably face Dos Anjos again, because I feel like that chapter didn't even begin, because Jose ended up getting hurt, and then he lost his belt too. So it's just been crazy in the UFC. But at least do something, like just defend your belt once. That's all I want to see. Just do it one time.
Now, was there enough entertainment in this fight that you would want to see a part 2? Now,
no.
We already know that. We already saw that Floyd said he wasn't going to fight.
No.
You think it's worth it?
No, especially not in the octagon, because that's a new argument now. They're like, well,
no, that wasn't a new argument. They were saving it. They were saving for that when he lost.
But they're really going to say it now. They're really going to say it. He didn't knock him out, so come to the octagon.
No.
Get knocked out with the 4 ounce gloves rather than the 8 ounce.
Floyd Mayweather wouldn't do that. No. Absolutely.
Nah, yeah, that's the thing too. You gotta remember. Everybody has to remember also that's making that argument. Oh, 10 seconds. You want to last 10 seconds in an octagon?
Sure, he even knows he wouldn't.
Floyd didn't even ask for this. It was McGregor that begged for this fight, and he just took it for the money in the end. He knew that he was going to beat McGregor in the boxing ring. He never said, "Hey, I could beat you in the octagon." You know what I mean? So it's not like not like he needs to do this.
I mean, low key, McGregor won anyway. Yeah. McGregor won anyway. At the end of the day, he got his ass TKO'd and just got $100 million. His net worth moved up because of Floyd Mayweather. Say your thank you, you're welcome, and then just go back to the MMA, fam.
So after potentially $100 million in this fight, do you think he's gonna take a long time to go back to the UFC?
That's a good question, because Dana White didn't even answer it.
I think Dana's gonna push him.
No, well, Dana was
to at this point.
What Dana was saying, Dana was saying in the post conference afterwards that he hasn't talked to him about fighting, but you could see the look in his eye.
Well, Dana knows he wants him, because I mean obviously he's a big draw, and especially now that John Jones is pretty much done.
Yeah, John Jones is fucked. Ronda Rousey's gone.
Yep. GSP is like the only one left, and that's holding on by thread. You don't never know about that yet, because he's just coming back also. So.
Oh, and then the dude, it was Max Holloway. I couldn't think of his name. So I want him to fight Max Holloway, because he just won a belt from Jose. So I feel like he needs to do that, but he's probably going to stay at lightweight, because Max Holloway is a featherweight. I don't think he wants to go back down, especially now. So I don't know who's in the lightweight division. I honestly don't think. Yeah, the lightweight division is it's looking kind of weak right now. So I don't know.
Honestly, all of the UFC roster after this John Jones thing is looking pretty weak.
Fucking just fight Tyron Woodley then, since you were talking shit.
There you go.
Yeah, just go up to welterweight and fight Tyron Woodley, so you can get knocked out. Cause Tyron ain't playing with you.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, I think UFC is going to be wanting him a lot more than he needs UFC after this. So that's why I'm saying. That's why I go back to that leverage. He has all the leverage now. He has all the cards. Even with this loss, it wound up being like the biggest win for McGregor, personally and
it was going to. He knew that though. He
business wise.
In his heart, he knew that, fam. He knew that.
I think so too.
In his heart, he knew it. Then the day
this was like the equivalent of getting a shout out of a big YouTuber.
Right. Exactly. Pretty much.
You got all the fighters, all the actual boxers mad at you. They're like, man, this is a fucking joke, but hey, he made that money. Do you think that ain't a joke?
Right. That man made $100 million for getting TKO'd, so he'll be all right.
Without putting in the work, at least Pacquiao, had years of building up this hype, saying that he could do it, and then lost for that money.
Man, literally jumped up to the top, boy, just for talking shit.
Yeah, just for talking shit,
bro. He showed.
Got him out of retirement.
Right. McGregor showed you. McGregor showed you what anything's possible when you talk shit online. So keep those Twitter fingers up, y'all, and that be listening. You never know. Maybe you too can get $100 million.
And then also, before we end this podcast, is there any other super fights out there now that all the names have seemed pretty much gone or whatever? Is there anything left?
No.
Man, it's looking really scary.
Right? No, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing, fam.
Do you think John Jones Lesnar is anything anymore after that?
Fuck no, absolutely not. No.
I don't want to see Silva come back. I don't want to see Rowley come back. I don't want to see anybody come back.
No.
I mean, it's done, right?
It's over. There's no more super fights. It's over. If John Jones win,
GSP gotta come back now.
If John Jones win,
and like I said, we don't even know what's gonna happen there. That's just gonna be. We're hoping he's GSP. I don't even know if he's going to be the same GSP.
Nope.
Right. He might not be. Or he could have been in the lab the whole time. That man was in one movie, and I haven't seen him do anything else.
That's what happens. Oh, I think they talked about the movie thing, man. These guys.
He was in freaking, what was it, Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
No more super fights. I mean, that's it. I mean, unless Mayweather entertains the thought of the Ronda Rousey rumor.
No,
that was
no. We're not. No,
man. Maybe we'll get another wrestler to come crossover.
Nah, fam. No.
Like Batista or somebody. I don't know. Somebody come back over for wrestling, yo.
It's not gonna happen.
The only thing left is like The Rock versus Vin Diesel in real life. Forgetting the movies, we need to have a real one. Celebrity death match, celebrity boxing.
Oh yeah, let celebrity death match come back. That'd be great.
That'd be the only way. Anyways, Vegas.
That's it.
We made it out. Everybody was sweating, talking about we about to lose like our economy and everything like that if McGregor would have won early on.
They pinned it perfectly. I mean, that was exactly what Vegas wanted. I mean, you wanted the exact round they wanted. They wanted the 9.5.
Yep.
9.5. Mayweather winning was exactly what they wanted because they put on purpose. You could tell they were pumping out those odds in favor of McGregor, hoping to get all the bets. And sure enough, he wanted to.
Yeah, because 90% of the bets put in were for McGregor.
Yep, but that's because all the low ones, all the high ones, everybody knew it was going to be, Floyd. But man, yeah, Vegas won big time. I mean, in the end, they just destroyed. They killed it. They killed it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Vegas, we get money. Paper. We get money all day. Appreciate everybody coming through from the Triple Threat Sports Podcast. If you guys like what you guys are hearing, be sure to hit that like button. If you guys want to continue to help support Gaming Illuminaughty, the entire community, be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/GI updates, where we have pretty awesome tiers. You can be a part of discussions just like this and part of series that we have on our GI YouTube channel. So be sure to check all out the awesome tiers. This is Ace of All Trades. Do you guys have any other any remarks?
Nope. Man, that was it worth the money? I guess. Let me ask that real quick before we end.
Yeah, it was. It was worth $100 for a pay-per-view. It was entertainment. It was worth it free. Yeah, I had a housewarming and a fight party, so it was entertaining for everybody. But yeah, allegedly, Siggy.
I wasn't mad that I missed the fight because the highlights were. I feel like that did justice for me.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Right. All right, y'all.
And John Jones still a bitch, bro.
Oh man.
That's the closing remarks.
That's the closing remarks. We ended on that, y'all. Peace. We out.